The overview of the situation today is thus. The British main line of defense is going to be right here. Their intention is to have the first line here. This will keep the French back, and then to fall back and hold here on this narrow frontage, hopefully delaying the French long enough that the Prussians will have time to come in. Here are the Prussian 1st, 2nd, and 4th Corps. They'll be coming in and hopefully filling up the flank on this side. With all their baggage, they come in very stretched out, and it takes a long time for them to come together as any kind of reasonable force. Waterloo is a 7-turn scenario, starting at 11:30 in the morning and running till 10 o'clock at night. We begin with the Grand Battery opening up on a British line. There are just a few thinly spread regiments around Waterloo spreading west. They fell back.
Per Wellington's plan, our troops fall back as the French move forward.
Bulow and the Prussian 4th Corps make their entrance. Uxbridge pulls his cavalry back. It's early afternoon, and the Grand Battery opens up again.
The bombardment succeeds in driving us beyond the hill of Mount St. John.
Durland's Corps contacts the British line. Riley's 2nd Corps hits the British line, but Hill falls back and his artillery opens up on the French.
And Picton pulls his troops back
as he and Wellington fall behind the main British line. Lobau prepares to meet the Prussians. Uxbridge pulls the cavalry back further still. Our troops offer the first real resistance. The artillery and the grape drive off the lancers. But as we pull the artillery back out of danger, Picton's troops get all fouled up. Marshal Wellington orders Picton to unpack his bags and organize his troops. Uxbridge sends us reports of advancing French dragoons, but they are maintaining a wary distance. The Duke of Orange rallies his artillery and deploys skirmishers on the British left. Seeing the guard advancing forward, Picton has his men fall back and forms a line along the woods. We notice some heavy cavalry moving up in front of us. Fresh French troops strike the beefeaters. More Prussians arrive, which is good because more French strike our center. And Purchase 2nd Prussian Corps arrives. Uxbridge pulls the cavalry back along woodland roads. Combat in the center. Intense fighting. Heavy casualties. No one holds the line. Who will be able to fill it first? It's late afternoon. Blucher and Seaton move the 1st Corps forward. Still the Prussians trickle on. Amidst the chaos, the French come over the hill. Clinton reinforces his line and has the artillery fire on the French cavalry. Looks like we've done some damage. The French guard menaces our front. The Prussians are coming in and forming up, but Wellington sends messages imploring them to attack. We hope the Prussians are doing something. Uxbridge emerges from the woods behind us and to our right. Hopefully he can help restore the hole in our line. Picton reinforces the center. He's joining the battle. And suddenly the French cuirassiers explode upon our line. Cuirassiers strike and fall back, but the flanking effort is for naught. More French troops explode on our line on the left. Our men fall back in good order. Picton's heroic defense saves the day. It's almost 6 o'clock. Can we hold the rest of the evening? We hear combat east of us on the Prussian lines. We wish we knew how it was going. You hear a Prussian screaming, "Vorwärts!" Could it be? The relentless cuirassiers charge again. The Dutch are driven back, but now we've got Picton's men. Picton himself was in that combat, and he has fallen. We hear more Prussians coming up. Hill begins bringing men down to fill in the line. Picton's troops recover and fill in the line. British artillery fires at close range, driving the French back. The hour is late, and the French Guard Corps charges. Picton's troops are eliminated. Kielmansegg will not let the Young Guard pass so easily. Our troops fall back in good order. The charge of the guards has been stopped. But now, our bags are exposed. Can we get in front of them in time? Uxbridge moves up with the heavy household cavalry. This will not be an easy nut to crack. On towards early evening, it's about 7 o'clock. Suddenly, French cavalry appear in our rear. The cuirassiers are warned, but they charge again. Uxbridge, in the middle of the combat, drives back and drives down the cuirassiers. The French infantry charges. The cuirassiers countercharge. The French attack is fruitless. More Prussians arrive. Clinton defends the bags. Again, that stentorian Prussian voice is heard. Forward! The guard attacks. With Hill's help, the guard is halted, but the combined arms assault continues. The guard cav is driven back right into our loving arms. They are dispatched. Lord, artillery to safety. The battle is inconclusive, and suddenly we hear the Prussian side of the battle come alive. Now it's almost 9 o'clock. Through great heroics, we have held. Wellington has launched a massive assault on the French Guard. And at the last moment, the French cavalry runs into the rear of our line. This may be the end. Wellington ups the pressure on the French Guard. He was going to lead the attack, but we convinced him not to. We got it, sir. And Napoleon commits the guard. They hit our household guard in the flank. At the last instant, Uxbridge hears of our trouble in the rears with the French cav, but there's nothing he can do. It's too little, it's too late. In the middle of the battle, at the crisis point, our morale broke. The British Army has disintegrated. It has run off.
Now this is an abrupt end. And the reason is I was going to fight a second day. But after setting it up, doing the night turn, I realized the Prussians had nothing. The French were completely outflanking them, and it wouldn't even be worth doing a second day. So I just stopped. So the British took off without so much as a thank you shake, and that ends the battle.